Ang dami-dami ng naglalabasan na big bike sa panahon ngayon. Hindi tulad ng dati na bihira ka lang makakita sa kalsada. Ngayon, kaliwat kanan na makikita mong dumadaan. Yung tipong mapapasana all ka na lang.
Sana all!
Pero ngayong ginto na ang presyo ng gasolina, kailangan natin maging praktikal kung bibili tayo ng big bike. Gusto natin kaya ng budget. Gusto natin pasok sa expressway. Maganda kung hindi matakaw sa gas. Dapat madali din ang maintenance. Siyempre, gusto din natin yung maangas yung tunog. At higit sa lahat, dapat pogi. Well, look no further dahil ang i-feature nating big bike ngayon ay isa sa napakasulit, napaka-affordable at napaka-poging street big bike ngayon. I'm Music and this is the Voge 500R. Good day guys, welcome back to my channel. So before we start this review, we would like to thank Adidas, also known as Bobzilla, for allowing us to test his bike for this review. In this video, we're going to review the best-selling bike of Voge motorcycles, the Voge 500R. As usual, we will run this bike through the different categories that we use to review a bike and we'll give our verdict sa dulo. And just a disclaimer lang ha, the ratings that I will give are based on my opinion and you may have a different view. So without further ado, let's get into it. Number 1 is the looks. Isa sa mga hindi matatawaran na trait ng Voge motorcycles is yung ganda ng lineup ng big bikes nila. Yung tipong mai-inlove ka sa looks ng mga bikes nila, and the Voge 500R is no different. This bike is a combination of European and Japanese style. If you look at this bike, the styling is more European. For the KTM lovers out there, this bike may be too familiar to you. With a very edgy design, this bike has a big resemblance to KTM Super Duke 1290R, especially with that razor-sharp headlight. If you look inside the engine, it is more Japanese with its parallel twin engine. And the taillight, it is pretty much similar as the taillight from Suzuki SV650. This bike is a Streetfighter version of the 500cc line of Voge motorcycles that comprise of the 500DS as the dual sports bike and the 500AC as the advanced classic. This bike has a height of 1,060mm, length of 2,110mm, width of 780mm, wheelbase of 1,450mm, and a ground clearance of 160mm. Weight of this bike is just 190kg, which is on the lighter side, kaya pwede sa shorter or newbie riders. It has different colors to choose from. We have the black, the white, and the red. And I want to point this out. During my review with the Voge 500DS, I mentioned that I'm not a fan of the silver shocks for that bike. But in this bike, it is perfect. The silver shocks perfectly compensate the style of this bike. I like how minimal the colorway of this bike, yung tipong simple pero poging-pogi. So considering the sporty and maangas na design ng bike with a minimalist colorway, I will give this bike 4.5 stars. Number 2 is comfortability. This bike is a Streetfighter bike, which means the seats are sporty in style and cushioning. It is using a step seat for the sporty and aggressive look and uses an anti-slide leather material. It has an okay cushion on the rider, but I cannot say the same thing on the pillion seat. Though this is something naman that can be easily fixed by reupholstering the bike seats. Also, expect that the handlebars to be a little aggressive, but not on the level of the sports bikes. For riders like me na sensitive na ang likod, the height of the handlebars will be a challenge on long rides. Pero there are owners na naglalagay ng handlebar risers to compensate. Seat height of this bike is 785mm, which is very friendly for shorter riders. I'm 5'9" and ganito ang itsura pag ako ang nakasakay. So for the comfortability, since I'm a little older at mas sensitive na ang likod, I would give this bike 4 stars. I think if you are a younger rider and doesn't have an OBR, you will give a higher rating for this bike. Number 3 is engine and performance. This bike is powered by a 471cc, liquid-cooled, 8 valves, 4-stroke, fuel-injected, double overhead cams, twin-cylinder engine that produces peak power of 46.2 horsepower at 8,500 RPM and 42.5 Newton meters of torque at 7,000 RPM. Documented top speed of this bike is 160 kilometers per hour, but from the reviews of the owners, it can reach up to 180 kilometers per hour. Fuel tank capacity is 17 liters and it has an average fuel consumption of 27 kilometers per liter, which is not bad. It has a 320mm dual disc brake at the front and a 240mm single disc brake at the rear. This bike is using Nissin braking system, which is the same braking system being used by Japanese brands, and Bosch ABS, which gives the rider full confidence even on slippery roads. It also uses a 41mm KYB inverted forks at the front, which is great since some bikes that has a higher price than this bike are still using telescopic forks. And a ProLink single shock with 6-position spring preload adjustability at the rear. Front tire has a size of 120 by 70 by 17, while the rear has a size of 160 by 60 by 17. The good thing about this bike is that it's already equipped with the Pirelli Angel GT tubeless tire, so paglabas mo pa lang sa casa high quality na agad ang gulong mo. It has a stainless steel stock exhaust and you will see the resemblance sa stock exhaust ng BMW F500R. The only thing na I wish that Voge did is to use that upper hole sa exhaust kasi nakasara siya sa stock. Not sure why, maybe to be Euro 4 compliant, pero I would love to hear that sound kung parehong pipe gumagana. And if you are into the more macho sound of the parallel twin engines, here is a sample of their stock exhaust. And of course, if you want to hear the busy sound of this bike kapag naka-open pipe na, here's the sound of this bike na naka-cut delete with Orion exhaust. So for the engine and performance, I will give this bike 4.5 stars. Number 4 is the tech. This bike is equipped with a sporty LCD instrument panel that displays the speedometer, gear indicator, odometer, fuel gauge, RPM gauge, and time. Pwede mo din makita yung ibang info like the trip meter and average fuel consumption by pressing this button. Other indicators like the neutral indicator, ABS indicator, check engine indicator, oil indicators ay makikita sa magkabilang gilid ng panel. At kung medyo nagsisawa ka na sa looks ng instrument panel mo, you can change the color ng backlight from white to blue to orange. It also has 3 levels of brightness ng backlight. Meron din itong safety feature na lean sensor which will turn the engine off kapag na-sense niya na naka 90 degrees yung bike. Isa pang maganda sa bike na to is meron na siyang USB socket sa may ilalim ng instrument panel. And of course, all lights are LED. So for the things that I wish this bike has, the instrument panel is little outdated compared to the other Voge bikes na naka-TFT display. Aside from that, wala na. As in wala. This bike is great from the get-go. So in terms of the tech, I will give this bike 4.5 stars. Number 5 is reliability. The Voge brand is the high-end bikes of Eastworld Motor Industries Corporation. It caters the lineup of big displacement bikes from 300cc pataas. Their brand of lower cc bikes naman is yung Motorstar, which I am no stranger. My first bike is an Explorer Z200 and I had that bike for 3 years. And wala akong masabing negative sa bike na yon dahil sobrang sulit at tibay ng bike na yon. We even took that bike sa endurance race last 2006 na sponsored ng NRA sa may BRC. At isa tayo sa mapalad na naging official rider at finisher ng race na yon. And as mentioned from my previous review ng Voge 500DS, this bike is one of the products ng collaboration between the MV Agusta and Lonsin Motorcycles, so you would know that this bike is carefully planned, designed, and built. Isama pa natin yung years of experience ng Lonsin sa pag-supply ng engine sa BMW, we will have that assurance that the quality of this bike will be top-notch. And just an FYI, this bike is a Philippine looper kaya tested na tong bike na to sa pangmalayuan at matagalang biyahe. I know that there will be some doubters out there since this brand is basically new. But if we give this brand a chance to prove its worth, I have an impression that it will be one of the sought-after bikes in the future due to its price. So for this, I would give this bike 4.5 stars. Number 6 is the maintenance and accessories. In terms of the maintenance, it is a little cheaper than other big bikes. Engine oil of this bike is just 2.7 liters, so medyo tipid pa din unlike the other big bikes na you need to buy 4 liters. Although limited din yung accessories itong bike na to unlike the Japanese counterparts, unti-unti na siyang dumadami dahil na din sa padami ng padaming riders ng bike na ito. Another great thing about the Voge brand is that the Voge riders are active and closely communicating to one another kaya maraming help ka makukuha in terms of the maintenance, where to buy the accessories, tips and tricks, and etc. And Voge is actually organizing these events kaya you will feel that you are being taken care of. But just like what I said with the 500DS, the only challenge here is that they only have one showroom and service center for now, which is in Caloocan. Though kung meron shops naman na kaya mag-service ng Bristol bikes or Honda bikes sa lugar nyo, pasok na tong bike na ito doon. And if I'm to own one, I think I would put 180 wide rear tire para maging bulky yung likod, radiator guard, engine frame, fender eliminator, tire hugger, front fender extension, patulis na seat cowl para malagay ko kapag hindi kasama si chairman, and of course that full open exhaust para lumabas yung machong tunog niya. So for the maintenance and accessories, I would give this bike 4 stars. Number 7 is the price. This is the best thing about this bike. It is only priced at 290,000 pesos, which is a great deal considering the bike, the features, the tech, the community, and the experience you will be getting. But if you are paying in cash, you will get 5,000 pesos less a price. As of the moment, the only bike na nakikita ko that has the same style, category, and engine displacement is the Honda CB500F, which is priced at 354,000 pesos. And the Voge 500R is a cheaper bike by a wide margin. So come to think of it, you are getting the same engine and same performance, just different brands. That is 69,000 pesos cheaper. And with that money, you can already spend it with a great exhaust, high-end helmet, and still have a lot of money left for gears and some accessories. If you are planning to have a financing scheme for this bike, Voge is only offering in-house financing as of the moment, and here are the details. For further information, you may go to their FB page. So for the price, definitely I would give this bike 5 stars. So let's just do a recap on the ratings that we gave this bike. For the looks, we gave 4.5 stars. For the comfortability, we gave 4 stars. For the engine and performance, we gave 4.5 stars. For the tech, we gave 4.5 stars. For the reliability, we gave 4.5 stars. For the maintenance and accessories, we gave 4 stars. And for the price, we gave 5 stars. So for the final verdict, I will give this bike 4.4 stars. I would say na isa itong Voge 500R sa sobrang sulit na big bike dito sa Pilipinas. Ito yung big bike na pwede mong gamitin araw-araw. A street bike, fuel efficient for a big bike, magaang dalhin, pasok sa expressway, machong-macho yung tunog, at poging-pogi yung porma. And I can definitely see this bike topping the 500cc street bike category if it hasn't actually. As a classic bike lover, mas pasok lang sa panlasa ko yung 500AC. But for street and naked sports lovers out there, this bike would be perfect. And if you learned something from this video, appreciate guys if you can like, share, and subscribe to my channel so you will be updated with the latest videos. Again, thank you guys for watching this video and see you in the next vlog. This has been Music signing off. Stay safe, ride safe, and God bless.